Morning.
Morning.
We just came for a walk with Mr. D'Souza,
Vincent.
Mr. Vincent D'Souza. After a long time, we are into the Secretariat, Tamil Nadu Government, Georgetown building. Let's see.
Fort, yeah, as we take a look at it, right? So everybody, I guess, saw the moat, right? How many people have been inside forts? Yeah, Jaipur, yeah, Galle in Sri Lanka, Jinji, yeah, Jinji is now added to the UNESCO list of forts, not because it's in Tamil Nadu, but because it's part of the Maratha forts. Maratha Shivaji's forts were some of the best forts around the place. This can't sort of get there. So anyway, so if you look at any fort structure, the idea is basically to sort of keep the enemy off or make it very, very difficult to gain access to it, right? One way of doing it is to have a moat, right, filled with crocodiles, yeah, maybe crocodiles and any other piranhas, pomfrets, sardines or whatever, right, depending on what your taste is. But yes, one way, I'm not sure what was going on there. Okay, but if you look very closely, right, yeah, the road at that time was probably 10-15 feet below where we are today or where you were on the other side, right? So we kind of, keep laying our road, relaying, and one day it kind of closes your house too if you're not very careful, right? So the moat is there, yeah, and then you have the ramparts of the fort, and if you go to any fort, right, if you walked on the ramparts, part of it is well maintained by the ASI, the Archaeological Survey of India. Any fort, then you should be able to cover the entire fort. So if you go to Sri Lanka, how many people love Sri Lanka? 2.5, 4.5, 8.5. Right, Sri Lanka. Everybody's been to Galle? Yeah, and if you go to the fort, you can just walk right across there. Wonderful place. You can see they don't play cricket on that ground anymore, but in the old days, if you watch a cricket match, test match or whatever match, you'd see the Galle fort as a backdrop. Yeah, so here it's, it's now a new ground. Right, so here, of course, it's collapsed in different places. It's a different story altogether here, okay? Right, so you will see slowly as we go around to another place, you'll have an outer wall and an inner wall and a moat. Moat, outer wall, inner wall. Makes life really difficult, and then we'll see other places, but it makes it further difficult for the enemy to sort of come in. So just observe around the place, right? So now here's the underground chamber, right? One of the days I hope to sort of get a walk into the chambers, but only for people who love to have rodents and snakes and crap around yourself, right? But we can. So you can see the chamber entries where those little johnnies are marked whitewash. You just cross one of them, and then you have a chamber on the far end, right? So basically, sort of, you stand guard inside, right? Get your sort of, bombing material inside, and then take charge. So if you look, when you go out, and another place where I'll take you hopefully today, you'll see the outlets, yeah, the little quarter windows from which people watch, right, for the enemy, and then sort of to them and sort of bombard them or whatever, right? So this chamber should run all over the place, but then in many places, because we've not been able to maintain the fort, it's collapsed, and therefore I'm hoping next year, my friend in the ASI says he's got at least 800 meters done well, and we'll probably walk on that. I'll give you a sense of what we have done, right? So this is the underground part. All these cannons are not from here, just for show, because the ASI has a museum, so they're not the original ones kind of being used here, whether they were used or not, but we'll see little places which will show you a sense of what kind of armaments were used, right? Okay, now, while we are inside the fort, okay, let's finish off with the flag march. Here's the flag. Right. It's fallen.
No,
it's there. It's there? Yeah, okay, it's there. It's wet and it's sticking to the post. But the big thing is that that is a huge symbol. But if you see the old pictures, then you had the picture of the flag of the Union Jack. Okay? Right. The story goes that Basham Iyengar, one young nationalist in Madras, right, changed into some police or security clothes, right, on eve of Independence Day, climbed up kind of thing, right, picked up the Indian flag, yeah, yanked off the jack, threw it, right, put the flag up there, and then was, of course, arrested. But the big story about it is that many years later, yeah, they located that flag torn into parts, and that flag, restored, is displayed on top of the Float Museum with the whole gallery of local freedom fighters. Fantastic flag. It's huge. That flag is huge. Used to be supposedly the flag mast, kind of actually the mast or whatever it's called on a ship originally, then it decayed, fell apart, but now modern material was raised up there. That's where Stalin kind of unfurled the flag on the 15th. That's part of the stuff here. Now, as we go, this fort is a town or a city by itself, right? So you need to sort of imagine a little bit when you're into history. Hey, folks, yeah, right? So just take your eyes in, left, right. Some odd things will be there, like the cupola is an odd stuff. It's not really there. It was brought in from somewhere. But if you look around the place, and like I said, it's all designed like a town. Yeah, main roads, sections, neighborhoods, colonies, nagar gigar, Kallakar anga, black anga, brown anga, all that kind of stuff. Trading, non-trading, yeah, religion, all that kind of stuff. Anything that happens in your colony. So just take it in, then you get a better sense of it, right? So we are now on the north-southeast? Eastern side. So we'll kind of travel in, right? And then we'll see how the north side is, okay? And then slowly as we unfold our walk, you will see how the fort sort of character changes from one place to the other. So let's walk up this main street. Come. And as you go, I think they have named, the name of this street has fallen off. I think it was York Street. And there is Gloucester Street. Come. Just go up to that bungalow, to the gate, and wait for me. Come. But please double up. It's a nice day to double up and take some weight. Here's another street. Which we'll look at it a little closely and you'll see the difference. It's possibly one of early mid 18th century, and possibly, you know, the oldest structures that are, still survive inside the fort. Okay, but what I wanted to show you was just what you might want to do with your houses. Yeah, right. So you see, typically, if you've been to Goa, everybody's been to Goa. Yeah. No, 2.5 people. Right. So if you look typically in the tropical places, Europeans, the Indians had a different system, but I don't think I have an example here. But they built it in such a manner that these are places, pre-power places, yeah, and pre-electricity suvidhas, and built it in such a manner so that you lived in comfort, right? So up there, yeah, look at the other end if you're here, because I think redoing this house was like in good shape. But old houses or heritage places, you're not supposed to do this, but in the fort, everybody does whatever they want to. So if you want to buy some property here, you can talk to me. Yeah. So look at the windows, okay? So you've got that little nice sit-out balcony type, right? Tension of the column, like I said, this runs. And now you look at the state of the building, but also appreciate how, you know, they built in those days, right? So you've got the Madras terrace, yeah. Look at the brickwork. You'll see tiny bricks, yeah, narrow bricks. You can see all it naked there, right? And then the mix of chuna, many things there, not what they do today, right? And then I don't know if that is teak or whatever, but look at the ceiling, and it's got layers like this, spaces between. Again, top floor, again to act as air conditioning of the heat that falls on you. That is air conditioning that we saw there. This is the other air conditioning. All old houses in Madras, even if they are 50, 60 years old, right, have Madras terraces. Yeah, that's the ceiling. And then you have that entire space up there in order to let the air cool before it enters your bedroom or whatever. If you studied at some of the missionary schools, you would see your doors and windows, slats there. That's a nice example. That's closed now. You just yank it, right? Air enters. You want some privacy, close. Typical, your air conditioner is just like that. It is air conditioning, right? Just that this was occupied, different people occupy the places inside the fort, and everybody just uses it. And then when it falls apart, they just run away wherever they want to go to. This is no man's land. Yeah, ASI, 4.5 people are supposed to manage it. But, you know, like across India, there's so much around the place that they just can't handle anything. So everything happens, right? So this is up for restoration or whatever. Look at it, right? And then if you go further, is the outer wall of the fort, right? Yeah. Where did this road lead to? Railway station. Railway station. Railway station. Fort railway station. That's plain railway station. Okay, no, good try. No, not. Yeah, so where does it go? I mean, you must know. I mean, you were just there. You know, now we are moving from the north to the east to the west or whatever. Reserve Bank, yeah. So in the old days, it led to Blacktown, yeah, which is Georgetown now. Blacktown, White Town, for obvious reasons. I don't want to explain stuff into this. But it's a fascinating sort of town outside beyond this. Right? So the guys out of Velagaran came here looking for
Clothes. Trade. Money.
Yeah, what was he looking for? Gold, silver?
Clothes.
Yeah. Textiles. There's no pepper here. Right. Textiles. Fine linen, fine cloth. Right? Made tons of money, sort of sending it across. And where were the weavers? Chintaripet. No. In Andhra land. The weavers were Andhra people far beyond. So Machilipatnam is where these Velagarans were, and then they moved here. So the weavers, the best weavers there, right? So you set up shop here, and then you tell the weavers, Baba, let's do some business. Yeah, between the brokers, which are called dubashas and all that. Sir, sorry, please. Then I'm responsible. I'll be in jail. You guys will escape. Right. So weavers, yeah, said, hey, folks, can we do some business? Kind of thing. And so they slowly moved towards the, that time the wall wasn't there. There was a little go down, which I'll show you, which is not there anymore, and said, Kittavappa, konja business panalam. And so they came closer and closer, set up the place, which became Georgetown, yeah, right? And then, usual white, black and all. My reading is that inside the fort there was a black town too, right? Anyway, the white town was, we'll go to where the whites were and the browns were everywhere. They're not black really, kind of stuff. And therefore they came closer and closer, yeah, and do the dealings. And then one fine day, the guys, the invaders, including Shivaji, who came up on the other side, and the French and everyone else who want to bomb the place, infiltrate into the colonies and get closer to bomb, right? Especially if you're like little militant kind of activity, warfare, yeah. And the British said, okay, enough, you guys, let's clean up that place. So cleaned it up completely, all around the fort, and said Talipo kind of thing, and then Georgetown is where it is right now. So that became the esplanade, and later on, of course, if you look at the old pictures, the Fort Museum has wonderful layouts of the fort. So if you see the old pictures, completely clean ground all across outside the fort, right? And later on, RBI, High Court, Gay Court, came around the place. So this was a critical gate, leading to, this is the North Gate, leading to Georgetown. Okay, take a look. You'll have to move fast because I'm going to disappear on the other side in 2 minutes.
How's Mala?
She's doing good. No, she isn't.
Same here.
Step back a little bit, then you can look at the facade. It's falling apart and the bushes and stuff like that. I can't take you there. But just to give you a sense about any karates here. Want to bang your fist on that and try and see if it collapses? No. 1776, I think, or 79, when the last portion of the fort, what we see today, was built. So how many years now? Classical sort of forts, right? But you'll see, and I'll show you some places, the little work that is done, right, in these public spaces is very interesting, yeah? So as you came in, and you can see five different corners is more like the edge of a star. So it runs straight and then kind of, gets into a triangle kind of thing. So you see it runs, breaks there, and then runs again kind of thing, right? Hopefully if we have cleared it, then we'll have a lovely fort which we can discover completely. As you go out, again, if you didn't notice on the left, you'll see it's completely cleaned up, right? We don't have access to it. I can get access later. I can't take people out, but you can see how, right, the formation that leads in order to get access to the top of the fort. Come. Yeah, you can stop here. How are you doing? You're okay? You like this place? Good. You're not tired, right? Come, come! So just take in this junction of the wall as we look up and around. I hope you took in the little staircase that is leading up. Did you see the staircase? Okay, keep your eyes open, folks. It's like 8:30 on the clock. Yeah, you saw the staircase? That's the staircase behind this mark. Right? I've not been able to find out really. We've had pictures of the old time, but what the function of this place was. Can someone decipher the number right on top, please? 13C. That's a bus number. 133C. That's a train number. So what do you think that number is? Road number. Somebody was staying there.
No year of build, when it was built.
The number of the tower.
Number of the tower?
133C. Oh, it is.
I really don't know. Yeah. I've not been able to, there are no detailed descriptions of each part of the sections of the fort. But this is the most fascinating which I discovered after they kind of cleaned up that place.
133C.
133C could be, like Sir says, 1330. Yeah, 0 India there. Correct. See, he's smarter. He used the zoom and got it. Yeah, it is 133C. It could be 1330 too, but clearly it lasts kind of thing. But it's interesting. I need to just check this out because I wasn't accessing this part till they cleaned up that place, and I said, okay, let's go and find out. Because I haven't found a similar structure, although maybe on the southern side you have a structure. Obviously, that is the watchtower. as you can see how narrow it is to gain access or look outside, inside, and it is watching the enemy that is coming into between the two walls. And then you can see it's very grand in nature, and there are steps up there. Obviously people were accessing that place, but I'm not able to access this space and see what that space there is. And somebody asked, I think, what are the holes or whatever. As usual, people took positions, and we are standing at least 8 feet above what could have been the level. But this is also a nice place then to see, if you didn't see the carriageway. Yeah? So why do they have the carriageway? To take the cannons, right. And how did they take the cannons? Elephants. Goodness gracious, where are the elephants? Yeah? Horses, kudra, or whatever, or the more humble donkeys. Yeah, mules and stuff like that. But they had those, those double wheel stuff. So put it up, easy, nice incline. So every place you saw that there. So every section you'll have that for easy to transport men and sort of weaponry. And then you can see the little open spaces there in the corner, right? Anyway, this fascinating place, I need to dig more. So we're going to go straight, but I assume this is barracks, so you'll see a lot of long, right?
This is going to be renovated or pulled down?
It will stay to be pulled down automatically.
Oh, this thing is also very pretty. The kind of church kind of thing.
Good. Ah, you remind me. North, right? We started from the east, came inside, and then traveled north, and we come to the central part of the fort. Now, a little bit that I lost out in too much of information, where we were standing to show you the gate to Georgetown, right? So that was the business district of the fort for obvious reasons, right? We end up at the business head. But that's where all the trading took place. And therefore, all the guys who wanted to make quick money were up there. The Jews, the Armenians, the Portuguese, the English, the riffraffs, everyone who wanted to make quick money trading were up there trading and having little shops or go down, whatever it was, right? And some of them lived there. Now that space where you just turned around, was also, you saw that massive building there on the left side. When you came in from here, you saw the modern building, which is the secretariat. All the IAS officers manning all the departments of the government sit there, and their staff and all that sit there, right? But around that building is not supposed to be there. We don't build these kind of buildings in these places. But it's around there that little efforts were made, right? At establishing by the missionaries a little school in the English system, and which Muthaiya says was the start of the system, basic system that all of us must have studied or are studying kind of thing today. was also the more first formal clinic treating people, right? English medicine, and therefore leads up therefore to the establishment of the general hospital and stuff like that. Key area was also a sort of a Catholic place, but when I go to the next stop, I link that up to you, right? So here we are, which is called the parade ground. Yeah, chaps used to have the parade here, but long before that, yeah, no more parades. It's like on the working day. If you want to see the fort, the best day is a holiday or a Sunday at this time, right? But this is where we assume, looking at the maps, is remember I told you when the guys East India Company picked up the lease, they set up a little thatch shed, which was their godown cum quarters, right? Yeah, so that's where we assume it was there, and then it became very formal. I'm not carrying a map. There's a nice online map from 1639 to 1776, how the fort starts off, Kutti, biggie, right? And therefore slowly, yeah, the outer kernel begins to come in, yeah, and then later on when it becomes formal, you have governors taking charge, and therefore the governor's house, yeah, is in a place where this back office of the assembly, right, the assembly, the MLAs sort of debate, throw stones or whatever they do, or talk. This is the back office, 1958. Muttaya says that he believes, he's seen it, he says, we don't know, that a wall of the last avatar of the governor's house, fort house, merged, was kept or whatever, merged with this building. So this was a critical place. Today, when you look around, later on kind of thing, parade ground and all that, barracks on one side and offices on the other, and you have those grand, simple, straightforward buildings. If you maintain the building like these two blocks, yeah, they look very imposing, grand and nice of that era. You can see, yeah, just ground plus one. Yeah, look at the space that is given inside kind of thing and outside. But if you neglect that corner where all the trees are, used to have a similar block up there, neglected over these 20 years. Like if you go close, when we go there, it falls apart, and then nature takes over, and later on the dogs take over. Right? Okay, let's keep walking. You'll have to double up, huh? I can't keep waiting. Okay. Eyes on the church. St. Mary's of the Fort, Anglican Church, and fairly unique. We're not going inside. The service has just started, and they don't like visitors at that point in time. I think Tamil service is on, and then will be the English service. That if you like pipe organ music, this is the time to come. Quietly sit and listen to the music that comes from, you know, an organ that is probably 150 years old. Wonderful music. If you don't want to go in, you can sit outside near the organ and feel it, right? But why is this church here? It was not supposed to be here at all. Yeah. So if you know some, yeah, old history, right? The Portuguese came wherever they went conquering. Yeah, they had a deal with the Pope. Yeah. Sword in one hand and cross in the other. So you conquer lands and convert people. So the English guys cared a damn, no religion. All that they wanted to do was make mullah. Good. Very good at it. Right? Yeah, everybody wants to make money, man. Okay. But what kind of people really came in the early days here? Yeah. You know, guys who came in those ships which took 6 to 8 months were convicts, goondas, killers, criminals, all kinds of stuff because they didn't care. Yeah, nothing. You know, where are you going, boss? You're poor, yeah. Free air, free sapad, free ship. Wow. And then the smart guys who landed up here got to, right, master the deals and wheels. Deals and wheels are not just during, you know, current times. been there for eternity. And then some of them went on to make loads of money and went back to build little castles which are still there in the UK. And you have a lot of our stuff showed up there if you read up history.
To see our own.
We pay to see our own stuff, is it?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Very expensive to see the diamond.
Yeah. Besides the diamond, a lot of art and stuff. Anyway, right? So, and these guys were called the Nabobs, not Nawabs. Nabobs. So when they had like finished their deals up here and went back, they were grand guys, yeah, rich guys, Mondro, 5 Mondro, crown or whatever. And then they had to get married. They're looking for rich girls, but no girls would marry. Why? Because at the end of the day, the guy's a goon. So nobody wanted to marry. It became a huge problem. I think we have a social problem of different kind in society today. Lots of girls who are like 40 some for own reasons. Men who are like 45 not getting married because they don't have girls. All kinds of stuff is happening. Right? Same apokodo. Right? But fascinating, guys. So, but back to the story. Is that these guys like cross keys let's do the kase and then we'll have some fun kind of thing. Okay? But then once the families began to travel, you know what happens? Nappa, Krishna Jayanti, Kondadnome kind of thing and all that. So said, let's have some Jesus around the place and gave the idea to start the church. Don't go into the history of the church, but this is a fantastic church inside. Lots of memorials, monuments, paintings, all little things that belong to the church and part of it, part of the history around because things are moved in. The two parts to the church, one is like your birthday cake, one is this part here, oblong, right? And then there's the church spire. Okay? Two parts to it. If you go very closely, we're not going to go close, you can make out the difference. There's a staircase upstairs to the gallery. So good old governor up there on Sundays like this would all pump and show kind of thing in this climate, right? 10-gun salute or 100-gun salutes or whatever. Goes there and he has his own gallery. You can see the gallery still exists there. It's a wonderful place. We've got a lot of wonderful records. Clive gave who got married, who got divorced, whatever they did was recorded there. Nice sort of archival material, maintained well by the ASI. Bomb proof. Anybody's got a bomb or a stone you want to try it to see if it's bomb proof? It had to be bomb proof because up there, yeah, remember I was telling the Esplanade was cleaned up. So up there where the law college is, where all was a huge graveyard, and the guys had gravestones, mausoleums and all that. So you remember, sir, you know the history very well. Yeah, most of these invaders mounted their artillery on inside temples. Good places to mount your artillery because you're solid sort of space. So you really need to mount it. So most of our temples where the war zones were kind of used as launching pads. So they use the mausoleums up there to launch a boom, alipota. So you go up there on this higher plane, boom, boom. Oh my God, right? You got the action, and there it would call. So while the other buildings were getting knocked off, they said the church and Jesus needs to be saved. So bomb-proof place. If you go another day, kind of thing, you can see as we walk down. You're not going inside. Yeah, the wall is thick, so you can take it. You can see the ceiling. It's got a lot of memories. It's got lots of gravestones. It's not a graveyard. So that place which was vacated, all the gravestones were then packed here. And if you know how to read gravestones and draw history from there, kids who are 6 months old, 6 years, and all that kind of stuff, right, are up there showing you that many of them, you can see records. Yeah, long sea journeys, died while on transit, all kinds of stuff happened. So nicely arranged gravestones around the place. Fascinating place. We're not going inside because we don't want to disturb them. We need to respect them. But we'll go off. Now that our fire engine is vacated that place, we got some more space. I know you guys are tired. So just take in we're going to walk down, but before that, just take a look at the first house and take a look at the size of the house, right? So this was the most powerful guys of the fort lived here, right? This side, the governor is there, and the other guys is number 2, 3, and all the down the ladder up there kind of thing. The hierarchy lived here, obviously, therefore they had grand houses. This is one house. Right? We're not going inside this house, but we're going to go and look at a dilapidated place so you get an idea about how big the houses were. They're very simple, not grand, but they were large, right? And then you can look at how they were built and stuff like that, right? Now this road, if you went straight down and jumped over the whatever wall is there, you will end up at the war memorial, which you must have kind of navigated, circumvented around, yeah, when you came in there, and lands up there, yeah. But we'll try and see if there's a wall on the other side. As we go down, just take in the houses, right, on the left and the right. Some of them are conserved by the people who own it. So this is, I think, the NCC, right? That's the hospital for the military guys, and then some servants and maids and stuff like that live in that place. This is the church hall. You saw the church, solid, well-preserved. ASIs have restored it a couple of years ago. They maintain it well. The church has a hall here, and the other place is the ASI Antiquities place. I peeped in the other day. It's under high security guys sitting inside with cameras, and it's completely well restored. So it's very grand, yeah, with the columns like this and the Burma teak stuff running across on the ceiling. Okay. So we're going to go straight now. I just want to tell you that we're entering a place that has kind of breaking down, but they're restoring. So there are lots of pipes and masonry work around. Please don't touch those pipes and things. If they fall apart, right, you will be dead, right, or you'll be injured. But I will be in jail. So not fun stuff. This is you're the second group that I'm taking into that no man's land kind of stuff. Yeah, right. So allow other groups also the privilege, because after that they'll ban me kind of thing. Right? I worked very, very hard to get people inside.
We will cooperate, sir.
Come, stop. Just don't touch. Just come along. Just see.
You're walking on history now.
That's a better place.
Okay, let's take a picture.
Yeah, yeah. You want to buy it? You want to buy this house? Part, it costs a lot of money, but reminder of those slat windows and the door. Look at the sizes, right, and the staircase, and on that side, yeah, the chimney to that house, wonderful chimney. Therefore, the kitchen, sorry, is downstairs, and that grand view from there. Look at how beautiful it is, kind of thing. If you just imagine, and I'll show you the view, not from there, because I don't take risks. I don't want to actually contribute to, but if you I'm going to take you to another place as to just look at the view, and that was the beauty of Madras, right? Come, you've seen it. Just be careful. Don't hold on to that because it's been wet. Come. Now you need to turn around quickly, huh? Because I'm taking you to a place you're going to wander around. A lot of material around the place, a lot of rust around the place. Don't wander up. Climb up, please. Use the steps. And look at the beautiful, beautiful moat which has been recently, recovered. Use the steps in the corner. But watch your steps because wet. There's a lot of rust, pipes and stuff. And don't wander too far, please. Put the steps there in the corner.
Vincent, what is this circular thing?
ஆமாம்மா நான் இந்த ஃபோன் எடுக்கிறோம்.
இந்த இது
Fresh?
Fridays.
But you need to carry a valid ID. And at the entry, like you have to sign and tell them about it.
You have to pay. There are some funny systems. It doesn't work. Is it? Given up? Too hot? So, how many floors here? 1, 2, 1.
Plus 2.
This is the third floor.
Three. Where are you looking at the sky?
3 floors.
Where is the 3? 3
There's an
കാണും
attic there.
3 കാണും 4 കൂടെ കാണും. Yeah, there's only 1 floor.
only one floor.
That's right. Where's the other floors? இல்ல இது you can't count as a floor. Ground plus எல்லாம் இருக்குல்ல.
Ground
ஓ அந்த
plus
மாதிரி.
2
Okay,
இருக்கணும்.
1 plus 1 நம்ம பாஷையில. Anyway, I mean technically only 1 floor. 2 floors. This part is 1 floor. So this is the grandest building in the fort. Somebody who wanted to go inside. Yeah, you want to go inside. I would go inside now, but if I took you all kind of thing, there'll be one big riot.
Quietly.
So I would suggest that you come another. You can see that the door is open, right? Because someone is working inside. So they'll chew us and, gets a little nasty. But you can come another day. It will be open. Request. If it's not open, request the ASI, smile at them. They'll probably let you in. But this is the grandest place owned by an Armenian. I think the plaque is there, but that's more Clive. But this was the Armenian Petrososkan, who was a great. Armenians were a very small community. The Jews were a very small community, but very great traders, as you all know. Traded Coral Merchant Street in Georgetown, kind of thing. Traded with corals, with diamonds, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and the Armenians left some lasting landmarks in the city. The Marmarong Bridge is one. Petrosuskin donated many places. I think he's buried there in the St. Paul's Church in Vepri. Armenian Street is Armenian Church. Yeah, right. So the Armenians were there, and one of so the great Armenian Petrosuskin built such a grand house. How many rooms do you think it could be? Many rooms. Yeah, I've not counted, so I don't want to take you in. And you might disappear in one of the rooms and get locked and all kind, God alone knows kind of thing, and then you will become part of the history kind of stuff. But this is, look at the height, okay, right? So yesterday I was at a talk by Sujata on Art Deco, which is completing 100 years this year, Art Deco, and we have Madras has some fantastic Art Deco, but Bombay, incidentally, is now listed under the UNESCO Heritage, the whole district of Art Deco. Have you been around Marine Drive and stuff? Fantastic, the way they have. Bombay has managed to do great things because they have laws in place which then allow us to rattle up all these guys who want to things down. Plus, there's incentive to kind of retain. So bigger companies, Tata, Geeta's, retain the place, or big banks and all that, then rent out the place, are willing to pay the price for all that. We have some fantastic places opposite the High Court, Bombay Mutual, their house and all that, one line there. And then the Esplanade on the western side kind of thing has fantastic, you look at them, grand. This has, as you can see, a mix of those things, but I like the ballroom. This is the ballroom, okay? So you invite people and then dance, right? And then on top of the roof, which is very, very, really high, you've got lots of glasses, because the sun then comes down, right, and lights up the place. We're talking about pre-electricity days. And therefore, obviously, the whole space is opened up, right? That is a little showpiece kind of thing. So technically, this is it. But there are different rooms. And somebody asked me about where's the kitchen? Why is it there? Is it outside? Obviously, the kitchens were on the back side, and then the rear side. The back side is the wrong word. And then you had your housing quarters and guest quarters and stuff like that, right? Robert Clive then lived here. But what was more important was this was the Admiralty House. And because we were a trading seaport kind of thing, anything, legal cases, disputes had to come court, High Court, Madri, Admiralty House. We still have Admiralty, courts around the place. Then Clive came in and lived here. Robert Clive, I'm not going to get into his history. I think they have a little Clive exhibition space up there. Yeah, and then later on, when the British moved out, all these guys took up different quarters, and a whole load of shit was thrown inside, and it began to collapse, the floors. And then ASI somehow managed to clean this place up, and now it's occupied some of the places. The big problem is that how do we, once we restore a place, we need to live in it, use it, otherwise it will collapse again. So what is the ASI going to do with these kind of places, right, is a big question, right? So for your question, on a weekday, there's the staircase. I'm showing you the staircase, the wooden staircase. You know how to go up. Hopefully knock, but there's someone working, I think some lights. I don't know, I'm not sure. But otherwise, ask the ASI boss there, be nice, smile and get things done. Fantastic. If you go up to the terrace, then you can see the Olaf, the sea line out there. Yeah, naturally. But I'll show you another place where you can see, look at it better. Right? So I'm not taking you places, but I'm going to give you hints that, don't sort of use my name if you get arrested, kicked out, whatever. Right, our Sonnar sir kind of thing, Like I don't want to be a modern sort of, terrorist. Right, eyes that side, right, on that side kind of thing. No, you're not going far, right, you're going to walk a lot. But there's another gate, like we saw the north gate. This is the, yeah, it's on the south side. But what's the name of the gate? Where's it going? Where will it take you? War Memorial. Yeah, go to San Tome. San Tome, Portuguese. Okay, right. So this is the inner wall of the San Tome gate. You go down, it will kind of twist and turn, and then you will go to the outer gate. And most people in the Secretariat who live on this side of the city zip down and then pick up a bus up there. And you can see the ramparts, they cleaned up part of it on top of the gate. So which means where we went up now, if you had cleaned up, then you can keep walking kind of stuff. Right? There's two buildings. One is Wellesley House, Lord Wellesley. Another famous guy, all collapsed. Two houses have collapsed that side. And eyes here, this was the town hall. What's a town hall? What's a town hall? Meeting. Right? Ribbon building Madras. Kava Serilla sir, Ivan Mudran sir, Manga Vettidan sir, whatever, his wife is looking at my wife or whatever kind of thing. Okay, all those places, all communities have town halls, okay, very British kind of thing. So you come and sort of discuss this place. So this is the town hall, and today the military sort of has clinics there. It used to have a church and temple place for prayers. It's got the military postal service office and all that kind of thing. Station headquarters Chennai, but in recent times, yeah, it used to be the hub of the IPKF operations in Sri Lanka, which was a disaster for the Indians for various reasons. We won't get into that, but this was the hub from which it operated. Yeah. Sorry? Indian Peacekeeping Hub, nerve center. Yeah. Okay, right, so let's walk. Now we're going to have a long walk, and I won't wait for you guys, okay? It's a long walk to the other side of town, and you're almost close. We just have 2 more points. Come. Let's do it. We could have... What do you read? So clear and in your eyes. Oh, hang on. You need perspective, as they say. Huh? Array. Acha, come on, yeah. I mean, it's looking at you and telling you where we are. No? Yeah, no, I'm trying to say, what do you read? No, you can't? Entry to the black top. I mean, it's very, very clear, isn't it? Where's our friend who used this Zoomo? Zoom friend. Zoom friend, eda therida? 133 Perspective is important. When you look at art, you need to kind of be at a distance. No, we are all learning. By accident, somebody said, no, I was looking for something else. I was looking for St. George and cross and stuff like that. Huh? Are you sure? What is there? E is there. நான் சொன்ன பிறகு வந்து கப்புன்னு கதிக்கிறாங்க. இங்க இருக்கு E. E. There is some lettering. Now you can see there is some lettering. No. No. இங்க இருக்கு. Hey, cheating. Answer paper அங்கே இருக்கு. We are right. Tamil Nadu. Yeah, can't you see George? George. Yeah, St. George's Gate. Okay, where is it now? Perspective. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, all the letters have fallen off, okay? But when I looked at it closely, yeah, obviously they were like, printed into it, so the shadow of the print, you can see it very, very clearly, and then you can match it with pictures. I've not come across any pictures of this gate, but another gate has it. But St. George's Gate, before we cross St. George's Gate, which is important, this is a place that has been cleared up. This had 100 slum houses, okay, and people say security is only there, but here every Gumbala Goenda kind of thing. So, I could have lived here, you could have lived here. Yeah, they cleaned it up somehow. ASI sort of cleaned it up. Yeah, how many people have been to Red Fort? Yeah, been to Red Fort, Delhi, seen the Sound and Light show? Yes. Yeah, you must go for the Sound and Light show. It's a wonderful kind of place there. I hope it's good and nice. Also, the Sound and Light show in the Golconda Fort in Hyderabad. Yeah, great stuff. And I wish I could run a show right up in the parade ground. Yeah, if I had a couple of crores.
Coming up in Victoria Hall.
Sorry?
You're going to put it in Victoria Hall?
Sound and Light show?
Yeah, I was thinking.
No,
Somebody told me Philip was
museum.
coming in.
Museum. I don't know about the Sound and Light show. But I'd like to have a Sound and Light show there, but they won't give me permission. Because they'll all say, Vallagarampati pesram kind of stuff. Yeah, anyway, but you can see all the features that we saw while we went around the place. So there's a staircase, steps leading up, right? Then there's the sort of stairway up here, which you can roll up your sort of ammunition and men and stuff like that. The walls, and then the openings into where all these openings were little slum houses and stuff like that. So the space is there, and as you cross on the other side, yeah, this is a solid wall. Just look at the wall. It looks so beautiful, very plain and clean and neat, solid. Come. So we're going to sort of go, we are traveling now. Yeah, we're traveling west. Okay, west. Take a look at the wall of RTC original gate. I suspect beautiful wall. St. George's, it looks so beautiful, and especially after it has rained, yeah, the two colors of the gate, it looks beautiful, very simple, straightforward, and you can see, which I don't know why they were, but I believe those are two crosses, crucifix crosses on either side of the gate, right? The inner gate of St. George's Gate inner, and then the outer, right? So you can see it's not on a straight line. Yeah, so makes life difficult a bit, and if you travel out, I'm not going to allow you to travel out, it will take some time, and you just cross the moat. You can see the moat, which is kind of polluted and stuff and overgrown, right? This is the moat that runs all around. They haven't cleared this part of it, but if you see the old pictures inside the museum, you'll see guys used to amuse themselves by fishing and stuff like that. So I'm going to allow you to walk up to the ramparts here. This is the only place I'll allow you to go up. Make sure wherever you have steps inside any fort, you walk up and down sideways, not straight on like you do, because again, they're meant for that. There are no railings. They're meant to make life difficult for you, right? So once you go up, just come up. Yeah, you can see the entire sort of, western side of the fort, right? And this is you can see, that's the star triangle end of one side of the fort, right? Just come up there and then look down, and you can see how yeah, the land sort of slides down. Yeah, it's the glacis. So it means any fort, again, so the enemy is here, and if you want to make your first step, you got to just keep going up, 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 which means you lose your breath, right? So if you go up, you'll get some kind of way of the glacis, which is called glacis, where I will wait for you kind of thing down. You didn't come up. So quickly go up and come up and see me and say Tata.
There you go.
Okay, don't get, go to the edge and fall off. Suicide point. Please be careful.
Nothing is here.
Photo எடுக்க.
See the church and all. Is it possible?
On your own, yes. On your own, yes. Anything is possible.
He was asking whether the security allowing that.
I'll tell you. Come. Where are the rest? Just give us another 2 minutes. This is our final stop. Museum, but also part of that structure that we just saw the other side of the house, which I said sort of maybe early or whatever, 18th century, standing and well preserved. But it's got a fascinating history, and the location is so very, very important. Okay, so there's the sea, right, and there are all the ships coming in to trade, right? Yeah, we're trading and stuff like that. Come. Yeah, and therefore we need to communicate with the ships, right? And the communication comes from here. So how do we talk to people in an era which we didn't have much, right? Sign language.
Lighthouse.
Right. That sort of, like the teacher says, what's that?
You have
Flags.
crackers and
Flags.
colored crackers going up.
No, semaphore.
Yeah, indicators.
Lighthouse.
Right? Different colors speak different language. So it's an international, it's like the Morse code kind of thing. Right? Anywhere the lighthouse guys use that, the ship guys will use it. And therefore you signal out, and obviously there was two kinds of things, but because you also had to do trading. So the signaling is more about, will you come in, go out, are you moving or whatever, is it safe? But then there's also the deal is that, well, they couldn't have, I've come, I've got like, Koni Pai, Jagri, or whatever kind of stuff around the place. So how do I say how many kilos, what deals and stuff like that? Again, sort of using the top of this building, right? Yeah, signages. And therefore, as things became more important, the area where there was no harbour at that point in time, slowly, much later the harbour comes in. But the area where the ships used to sort of stay out at sea and put out anchor was called the Madras roads, right? Very, very terrific. The East Coast, wherever you go, folks, please don't go swimming and jump into the sea on the East Coast. You're going to lose your life, right? Even the best guys who swim know what to do. What do you do? What do you do?
Don't swim.
Yeah?
Don't swim. Don't swim.
Don't swim. Just let your body go with the current. Float, leave it, and certainly leave you elsewhere. Right? So if you get caught in Besant Nagar in a current, just don't fight because you're going to lose your life. Just float, and it'll come and throw you at Anna Samadhi or whatever, and you're safe. But please, even if you go to the marina, please be very, very careful, because the level, whatever it's called technically, drops, right? Unlike the west coast. Okay. Anyway, so Madras roads is where, it's called the Madras roads. I don't know why, and therefore you signal and stuff like that. And as trade and ships increase, the need for a lighthouse begins. And Madras's first lighthouse was atop this building, right? Made from wooden. Yeah, my late friend was an expert on lighthouses, wooden and oil lamp with lenses. So lighthouses to guide the ships up wherever they landed. Okay, you come to Fort St. George, right? Much later we have to move because boat trade, buildings come up, and therefore the Doric column which stands inside the High Court. If you pass by, there's a Doric column inside the High Court campus. Single cement-like column, second lighthouse. Then it moves further because you need to go to bigger height. And once High Court buildings are on top of the big dome, you will see the lighthouses which have been restored wonderfully well. The Doric column lighthouse also has been restored. If you like to go, there's access. Raja, the advocate, senior advocate, runs a specific, on a specific date, a walk inside the Madras High Court. The High Court interiors are fantastic places. You must be on this walk. I've told Raja to do a walk. He's very senior. This month, he says, I'll let you know. Hopefully, somewhere on the Facebook page, search around and do go for the walk inside, because you don't have free access inside. Right, and then finally, we have the modern lighthouse down on the marina. Yeah, the first lighthouse in India which had a lift. Most modern lighthouses now have a lift. You go to the top, and there's a gallery around the place, and most lighthouses are access, and the rear of the lighthouse at the base has a museum which was wonderfully lots of old lights and all kinds of stuff to do with lighthouses is there. Anyway, but back to the history, and therefore this becomes the exchange room. So this is where business happens on the ground floor, and once business is over, you retire to the top floor for drinks and banter and gossip and whatever, right? So that's how it happens. So it becomes a nerve center. Remember, behind is all the trading that is taking place. That's the North Gate to the Blacktown, Georgetown kind of stuff. So this entire space is the hub place. That place is the Valagar and the big guys there, that space where we went. And then further on kind of thing, you have all kinds of, as the little army group, most of the army were Indian guys actually, kind of thing is committed, right? And therefore, this then turns into the exchange room, turns into the Imperial Bank, and later on merges with another bank, and then becomes State Bank of India, right? State Bank of India quarters is up on the other side, First Line Beach, that red building, which they have not maintained too well, like the GPO also not maintained too well. It's a sad case, right? Now, therefore, since the weavers were there, that town was the nerve center of the city, not your Alwarpet, Gilwarpet and all that, okay? Right, that's the nerve center. So everybody who migrated, Tanjavur guy, this guy, that guy, in search of jobs or whatever, everything is here. The fort is here, the High Court is here, the market is there, business is here, the banks are here, and therefore everybody gravitated, lives on those streets. They are wonderful streets. Any Sunday, you must walk down all those Tambuchetti streets, Irabaluchetti street, Armenian street. There's a wonderful places kind of thing, just marked by signboards and stuff like that. Right? And therefore, once you do business, all your Carnatic music, your dance, adi, idu, kuti, bite, and then towards the central station it expands, right? All kinds of different forms of entertainment for different sections begins to flourish, right? So that's the nerve center of the city, right? Then the British guys get a little suffocated. They can't just go down. You've got the Napier Bridge, you can't cross it. So, you go and see your girlfriend there or whatever it is. Have some fresh air, have a drink or whatever, and come back, right? So they need to explore, and then they use the Walaja Gate, not the George's Gate. The George's Gate leads to Fort Station and takes you this side. The Walaja Gate is a kind of a no-go zone because the army guys dissuade you. Walaja Gate leads you out, and you go down to
IG's office.
IG's office. You go down to the Walaja. Okay, the Nawabs. yeah, the Nawab's, yeah, where your Chepak, Nawab's Humayun Mahal. I'm hoping it opens up. It's already open. You must see they have wonderfully restored that place. Massive place, yeah. So it is called Walaja Gate. So the Nawab, Givab, Avaimam, Periyale will into the fort, will use that gate and road. But then he went straight down, right? And the creation of Mount Road. And once people began to get out of Mount Road, right, Mount Road became the showpiece place, right? That's the place where all the newspapers from the northern side came down, yeah, the Hindu stuff, right? That's where sort of all the industries also like GEC and Pure and Sons and Simpsons and all that sort of takes place. On the other side, you have government estate. And slowly around the Raudana, you've got entertainment, boxing, movies, bars, restaurants and stuff. Yeah, the whole of Mount Road sort of becomes a showpiece place where guys have fun around the place. All the landmark places, you want to shop, you want to see a movie, you want to see sort of dancing, music, whatever was that leads to Mount Road. And then the rich guys and the independent guys want to sort of free themselves out of the fort. And they will look for large plots, green plots. Therefore, one side, on either side of Mount Road, large houses spring up. And then the more rich and famous go beyond, go looking for the Adyar River, so river banks, boat club area, all those fancy places begins to grow, right? Meanwhile, the British find that your corporation was the oldest in Asia. There are the civic council now. The city has to grow, so they amalgamate different villages. The village of Mylapore, the village of Triplicane, Elambur, Ave, Ella, slowly amalgamates. So technically, Madras is amalgamation of villages. If you see Madras, it's not a planned city. Only the outers are planned cities, right? And therefore, people start moving there. So all those Johnnies who make money here now are a little stuffy. The industries come here. It begins to be called the labor and industrial area, right? Yeah, but so the guys who are here now say, let's move to Mylapore, move to Saptinagar, move to then slowly move into Adyar, move into Besant Nagar, move into whatever, move into Mahabalipuram, whatever. So the city expands on all sides. And therefore, this is kind of important to understand your city and where you are. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you. We have a taxi place now to take the picture.
Yeah, they already, someone was shooting. Already shooted a picture.
No, but you were showing your back.
I was showing my back.
Yes.
How's my...
Hello.
இன்னைக்கு எங்க போறோம் பாலா?
நாங்க இன்னைக்கு வந்து Fort George கோட்டை.
St. George.
இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா தமிழ்நாடு அசெம்பிளி in Georgetown area, almost near the beach area. So we are on the Mount Road. So we came by 6:45 to this location, and Mr. D'Souza, who is the famous Vincent D'Souza, who is a famous historian who tells more about the city, more about the culture, about the roads, and a lot of things like that. And we have one new friend to our walk.
இப்படி வந்துருங்க.
We have a new friend. Hi. So we all went for the walk. Almost 60 to 70 people came for the walk, and it was a fantastic lot of new information. They talk about the Dutch, British, where and all they colonized and how they developed that particular area, why they came and what is their purpose, how they grew into a bigger entity, and how they conquered India. And D'Souza was fantastic on it. It was absolutely free. I request everyone to participate in these walks. So there will be regular walks, paid walk, free walks. So D'Souza, who always goes for free walks and entertained people to know much things.
Watch out for madrasday.in.
Watch out for madrasday.in.
Yeah, that's where they list out all the events during this Madras Day month.
Yeah, this is August month, no? It is the Madras Day month, and everyone, each historian, each and every individual try to contribute to the history of Madras, and today is one of it. We participated and gained much knowledge, and hope the content in the video was self-explanatory, and you will get the same experience when you go and watch these kind of walks and enjoy. See you in another good video very soon. Bye.
Bye. நீங்கள்